Welcome. It is Josie from Lily Leaf 11 and it is coffee and crystals time. Mm. Oh yeah. This is the best thing about Earth is we get to try so many different things, flavors and experiences and yeah, love it. So I am just sending you some good vibes with the Rose quartz for universal love. So, how do we get into the fifth dimension? Wow, new earth, fifth dimension, heaven on earth. What do you want to call it? Call it whatever you want. So, how can we get into, it always feels weird saying into the fifth dimension because pretty much everything is a vibrational frequency. So everything's vibrating, oscillating at different levels. And so basically, it's all here, it's all now. So the fifth dimension is right here, right now. New earth, heaven on earth is right here, right now. But of course, there is so much going on in the old earth still that it's such a distraction. And what I keep seeing is deception, deception, deception on with so many things. And it can drive you a bit crazy. And you can start to lower your frequency to you start to connect more to the third dimensional frequencies of old earth, especially if you're talking to family members that might not have expanded their consciousness yet, or if you're watching the media. So how do we get into the fifth dimension, whatever you want to call it, without, with so much going on? And also the guides, the keepers of wisdom told me that, we can easily be in the sixth dimension, the seventh dimension. So do we need to do that as well? Do we need to try and raise our frequency so high? Obviously, it's up to us because it's our game, our creation. We are the creators of our reality and we are co creating with everybody else. So we can choose. I think sometimes if you raise your frequency so high, then I feel like you just, you kind of probably have to be like the monk, kind of a monk type like Buddha type where like you're really in another reality. But, what do you do if you've got kids or you've got, family that you're hanging out with or supporting and you can't just move to a monastery or move to Nepal or move to somewhere that, where you might be able to raise your frequency more. So yeah, what do you do? What do we do? That's what I'm going to ask the guides. How do we get into the fifth dimension? And as are you guys getting ascension symptoms still? Because when you're shedding off the old layers and you're rising into more expanded frequencies, it's quite a roller coaster ride because you can feel a bit nauseous or headachy when your brain and body and cells are kind of realigning, readjusting. You can feel tired, but at the same time, we don't want to manifest all these symptoms as well. So what we want to do is connect, like just keep visualizing connecting with the new earth frequencies, with the fifth dimension frequencies, with even, we can bring in the sixth, seventh dimension, we can bring in the higher realms, but we want to bring in what's going to be beneficial for us, who, we're still in this human body, this organic avatar suit. So our cells are adjusting and aligning. And if the frequencies are really just so much beyond ours, it's almost like a lightning bolt hitting us because the power of the expanded consciousness of those frequencies is just a lot for the human body. So how can we adjust and realign to new earth, to fifth dimension or beyond? How can we do it with ease? How can we do it with just more fun, with abundance? Yeah, how can we do this? Okay, so I'm going to tune in. I'm not sure who we're going to get today. Ascended Masters. Okay. Right, I think the Ascended Masters want to come through rather than the higher beings of light because the Ascended Masters have compassion for the human body. The Ascended Masters have been on earth, they have been within this frequency. A lot of souls come in just to experience this frequency and then they leave straight away. So they come in to the earth, the what we might call the third dimensional frequency. So they come in and then they just go because they just want to experience the frequency of what it's like. Some don't stay. So, and then others don't even come at all. So the Ascended Masters have lived a bit of life on the earth reality, and some of them have continued to live lives on the earth reality. They are real master souls because they have just learned to find their alignment and their balance, and it's kind of like they've become one with the matrix, like Neo, where they've discovered how the codes work, how the quantum realm works. So they've made it, because they are part of that energy, they've made it work for them. So they've learned how to manipulate matter, that's what we do every day when we are manipulating matter. Every day we're levitating. You know that, don't you? We're levitating because our atoms, we're actually repelling. It's kind of like the electromagnetic field. Everything repels each other. So literally, we're actually I'm not even sitting on this. I'm not even sitting on this chair. It's the atoms are electromagnetically repelling one another. And like when I first started awakening, I actually felt like I was going to fall through the floor. I felt like it wasn't real, like the floor was just going to disintegrate in front of my eyes. So yeah, back to the Ascended Masters. So a lot of them learned how to levitate, but all they were doing was just shifting their particles up further than we would. We are already levitating. We are already doing so many things that you would admire the Ascended Masters for doing, but that's us. That's our natural state. We are already Ascended Masters, but the Ascended Masters that incarnated here, they remembered before us, like they've been there, done that. So they remembered, and they did come in with more soul fragments of themselves too. They came in with their more multi-dimensional aspects. So it depends how much of your soul self you bring in as well, because if you limit yourself to the human mind, then you don't remember all of those greater aspects of you. But now we're starting to remember. And so it's not a bad thing that we didn't remember. It was just a game that we wanted to play. And the energy of forgetfulness got even thicker and denser, and the amnesia really, really set in. So, okay, so let's ask the Ascended Masters how to get into the fifth dimension with so much going on Earth. Welcome, dear ones. I am Saint Germain here with a lot of Ascended Masters that you have heard of and haven't heard of. Yes, you are playing a very fun game on Earth, and yes, we have come today because we can resonate, we can appreciate, we can have compassion for what you are going through on Earth. And we like to remind you, your facilities are a lot nicer than what we had years back. You have very comfortable beds, most of you. You have many comfortable bathrooms. You have showers. You have toilets. Your kitchen facilities are amazing. So a lot of you feel like you're suffering, But honestly, if you take yourselves back 1,000 years, you did not have these lovely comforts, these comfortable facilities. So, yes, we just want to remind you of that. That it is important to appreciate what you have. Appreciation is the key and does help you to get into the higher states of awareness, the higher bandwidths of frequency, the octaves, the resonance vibrations that allow you to really connect to your higher selves and the higher realms. So, yes, we as the Ascended Masters, when we came in, we didn't forget quite as much as you did. And yes, that was because you could say life was simpler. Life was simpler without a nice flushing toilet. Life was simpler without a nice flowing shower. Life was simpler without a comfortable duvet cover. But we had the opportunity to tune in. You might say, there wasn't any cell phone towers there. No, they were not saying these things are bad, but we're saying, without the satellites, the cell phone towers, without the cell phones, without the computers, without the internet, we will say that the Akashic records were always here, the universal internet. But without all of these distractions, without the social media, without the going out or every night, going to see families, so many friends, so much to do, too much to do on earth these days, we had less to do. So you could say even when we traveled, life was slower. We traveled. When we traveled, we walked, we traveled horse and cart sometimes. So everything was a slower pace. So, yes, you could say we had time to attune to our inner selves, our inner mind, our inner universe, our inner heart portal. We had time to connect to our chakras because we had more silence. You could say more quiet times. Whereas your world now is, yes, filled with so many more frequencies, so many more thought forms, so many more psychic attacks than ever before. But do not fear these, because these are just the lower entities that are trying to survive as well. You have all done a lot of things to try to survive, but we won't get into that area now. But we can say that to connect to the fifth dimension and beyond, it is great to realign yourself. So you all like to talk about the Sanskrit spinning wheels, the chakra system. So these are your energetic fields. There are far more than what your earth reality has talked about or tuned into. But so every cell within you is a spinning wheel. Every atom within you is a spinning wheel. Every energetic point, every single thing you can see and can't see is a spinning wheel of energy. And it all spins at different levels and it oscillates. So it vibrates at different levels and it has different frequency attunements, octaves of, you would say, sound and light combined. So what you are doing now is you're actually stripping off the layers of who you thought you were, of the limiting beliefs, of the outdated system. So you're realigning and attuning all of your frequency ley lines back to your higher state of consciousness, your higher state of being. So as soon as you let go of an old belief system, you realign back with the oneness of who you are. You realign with the potentiality of connecting. Well, we wouldn't say you are not connected to your higher self, but we'd say aligning to your higher self. You're always connected to your higher self. You're always connected to the fifth dimension, to New Earth, to heaven, to the universe, to beyond. You're always connected to source energy, but it's just your belief and forgetfulness That is not your fault that you have forgotten, but it's your you'll call it out of alignment that has stopped you from being in alignment, basically. So we are saying to visualize coming back into alignment daily. Obviously, we have always spoken about grounding. This is what Buddha was very good at. This is what many of us were good at because we did, our shoes weren't as fancy as your shoes now. A lot of us did wear bare feet, so we were grounded. We were connected to Gaia herself. Gaia sent her light codes of information, and that did help us awaken to the higher frequencies as well. So if you can ground yourself to Gaia, so take your shoes off, ground to earth, ground to a tree, visualize if you can't get to nature, visualize yourself, visualize tree roots coming from earth, coming up through earth and coming down from your feet, from your root chakras, grounding, realigning, reestablishing you again. And just every day, if you can attune yourself to the new earth, fifth dimension. So visualize it. What would it look like for you? It would look like more peace. Can you visualize more peace? Can you visualize more abundance? Can you visualize more calm? Can you visualize more stabilization for the planet and the grid lines? Can you anchor your light onto the new earth frequencies? So it's all about a visualization and becoming that frequency. So it's about becoming it rather than becoming the old third dimensional matrix reality. So what do you want to align yourself with? The old matrix of the third dimension that is in survival consciousness, in forgetfulness, amnesia, in lack, in war, in outdated beliefs, in separation, duality. Would you like to keep aligning to that? So if you would, then you just keep focusing on that. It is totally up to you. But if you would like to be in the new earth frequencies, then you need to be in it. You become it. You feel it. What does peace feel like? What does calm feel like? So this is where we say a bit of mindfulness, a bit of meditation comes very handy at this phase because, you don't have to do it for long, but it does help you realign because the new earth is calm. So where is your calm state? So you do need to practice your calm. Even this is a great opportunity, even though the world does not feel calm, it feels like chaos. This is a beautiful time to become a real master soul. If you can find your alignment, even if it's for 30 seconds a day, find your inner calm. Go within your heart portal, find the peace that resides within yourself and within all that is. Connect to the peace frequency. Connect to the calm frequency. Connect to your abundance. Connect to your wellness. It is a frequency. It is a bandwidth. It is a light spectrum. It is a sound wave. Connect. Connect now because you deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel calm. You deserve things to work out for you. Have fun. Flow. Find what you enjoy. The new earth creations come from your passions and interests. And we have said this so many times. Your interests and passions and joy, excitement, they are all guiding you. This has come from your source divine self. The inspiration, the divine inspiration is always coming to you. It's just a matter of, are you listening? Are you listening to your heart? Are you stopping to take time for yourself? Or are you too busy worried about what everybody else wants or about what everybody else is doing? How much time do you spend on your phones when you could have 30 seconds to yourself for calm, for peace, for love, loving yourself unconditionally without judgment, like Source, the divine creator, does, and like the Ascended Masters do for you? Because we love you so much, and we understand we have been there. We have been on earth many times, and we understand it is not easy, but it is worth it. It is worth it. We are telling you now. It is time for you. This is it, the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius, the alignment of the planets, the alignment of the soul codes. Click. The divine blueprint is back. It is all here. The pieces of the puzzle are coming back together, my dear friends. You can create whatever you desire. It is your time to shine. And we, the Ascended Masters, are helping you all day long. Do not forget that you are loved. You are not judged. You should have seen some of the stuff we got up to while we were on earth. You may judge what we did, but it was fun. And it is your time to shine. We must tell you that we're never perfect. It is not about being perfect. You are perfectly perfect in the eyes of the Ascended Masters and Source energy. Perfectly perfect. Already. There is nothing you need to do. Just be. Be in the now. Be you. Be here. The new earth is you. You are the new earth. This is very exciting. Don't worry about what's going on in the earth, in the world. Don't worry about the conflict, the chaos. New earth is here. That is the last of the old systems crumbling. The collective consciousness has chosen to no longer play the old game. They're done. This is the last burst of the energy that needed to be released from that old matrix system. And you are now rising to shine your light. We love you so much. Be well, my friends, and we will be with you. When you need us, just think of us and we will be there. For we are you and you are us. Shine your light. Oh, I love the Ascended Masters. Sorry, my nose was getting itchy. It was tingly. I did some saging before, and now my room smells like sagey smoke. It's made my nose tickly. All right, so I don't know. Was that enough about the fifth dimension? I feel like we could have got more. Ascension tips. I know, grounding, mindfulness, appreciation, release judgment, have fun. Do some art, do some hobbies, do some dancing, do some singing, do some playing, do some yoga, do some qigong, tai chi, play with crystals, go to the beach, go for a walk, go to the bush. I don't know. Find what works for you. There's so many ideas, but don't overthink it. All right, I'm going to have my coffee. Hopefully it's not too cold. You guys are amazing. I love you so much. Okay, well, I will talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to myself and the Ascended Masters. Bye for now.